So let's start air pollution. We have discussed about air. Now today we discuss about air pollution. So that is our major interest actually, because to learn the air pollution, we have to learn about what are the different types of air pollutants. They are called criteria pollutants. Total 6 types are there according to EPA, Environmental Protection Agency USA. They are defined these 6 as criteria pollutants, and they are divided into 2 categories: primary and secondary. Primary air pollutants are carbon monoxide, SPM, suspended particulate matter, oxides of nitrogen, oxides of sulfur, and lead. These are all primary air pollutant because there is direct source available. And there is a 6th one, ozone, which is not directly produced and going to the atmosphere. Rather, it is produced in the atmosphere itself. That's why it is called secondary. Those who are having direct source in the earth, they are called primary air pollutant, and those pollutant created in the air itself, they are called secondary. So primary 5 number and secondary 6 number. Total 6. These are called criteria pollutants. Now let's talk about them one by one. Now air pollution, it is affecting our life. Day by day this pollution is increasing, and you have seen in the whenever you open the mobile that today is not good, don't go out. The message is very simple like that. Okay, maybe the language is different, but what it means is today is not suitable for going out. And every day is saying like that. Particularly Durgapur, if you are deciding, you will find this message. Today this, what is this particular parameter they are talking about? Better not to go out. AQI, air quality index. Today AQR is 210. Okay, please try to stay indoor. So this type of message we get in the mobile. So you have to understand what is that. It is coming from some environmental agency, those who are monitoring the air quality. Okay. Do you know that environmental agency, those who are predicting whether there will be rainfall today or sunshine today, who is predicting that? There are a lot of centers. It is called meteorological department, and this meteorological department at the Kolkata also there is a center. In all the major cities there will be centers. Okay, so that is called meteorological department, Ministry of Meteorology. So they are giving this type of information that how much is, whether you are supposed to go into the open ocean today, or you are not, should not go out. That sort of information they are giving. This air pollution is affecting human, all the ecosystem together. So what is pollution? Changing in the background concentration. Very simple. What is the meaning of this? We can tolerate up to certain level, and if we can tolerate that level, it is called below the toxic limit. If it is beyond that level, we call it above the toxic limit, and then it will be bad for health. If it is below the toxic limit, we need not worry. But if it is above that limit, then only you are in trouble. For example, arsenic. How much we can tolerate? How much arsenic, along with food, along with water, we are consuming arsenic. How much we can tolerate? 0.5 parts per million. That is our Indian standard. 0.5 ppm quantity of arsenic we can tolerate. ppm means parts per million. That means out of 10 to the 6 parts, 1 part is called 1 ppm. So 0.5 means half ppm we can tolerate. Very small quantity. If it is more than that, there will be some toxic effect, impact, symptom will be there. What are the symptoms? Black foot disease. Black foot disease. Weakening of backbone. Weakening of backbone. Black spots here and there. So these things are happening due to arsenic pollution. And if the arsenic pollution, as one of the example, so this is the first line I've explained, change in background concentration. Background concentration will be there always. If it is beyond that limit, then only you are getting trouble, otherwise not. And these are natural materials. These pollutants, they are all natural. It's not something coming from outside. It is already there in the nature, but beyond the limit, it is giving us trouble, then only call it pollutant. It is already there, and giving some trouble beyond certain toxic value, and then only we call it pollution or pollutant. What is contaminant? Contaminant are chemicals or materials that is produced by human activity, which is not a part of nature, and giving us toxic effect. Then it's called contaminant. Example, methyl isocyanate is not a natural material. Methyl isocyanate is not there in nature, but sometimes due to our negligence, due to some accidental reason, the gas leaked out and goes into the atmosphere. That is giving trouble to human, to all the animals. Then it is called contamination. Now, adulteration is a type of contamination. Adulteration জানো? খাবারে ভেজাল সেটা হচ্ছে adulteration of food. Adulteration of food. Lot of examples there. You know melamine plastic. Melamine China plate টাইপের একটা প্লেট আছে, melamine. দেখেছো না? দেখো না, সাদা প্লেট, বিয়ে বাড়িতে খেতে দেয়, ওটাকে বলে মেলামাইন। ওই মেলামাইন প্লাস্টিকের পাউডার, লুকিং লাইক মিল্ক পাউডার, it is added with the baby food, baby milk. Adulteration, bhejal. Okay, হলুদ, turmeric powder, and chromate. Chromate is very cheap. You can mix chromate with this turmeric powder, and it will be same coloration. Actually, it's a sort of dye or paint. So if you use it, nobody can understand. That is adulteration. Bhejal. শিয়াল কাঁটার তেল যদি মাস্টার্ড অয়েলে ভেজানো হয় না, কিছু ধরতে পারবে না। পাম অয়েল, ইফ ইউ মিক্স উইথ ঘি, দেশি ঘি বলে বিক্রি করছে 600 টাকা কেজি, তার মধ্যে পাম অয়েল 80%, 20% দেশি ঘি, 80% পাম অয়েল। কি করে চিনবে? জেনে রাখো, কি করে চিনবে? When you buy the ghee, there should not be oil suspended on the top. ওরা বলবে বাটার অয়েল, মিথ্যে কথা, ওগুলো পাম অয়েল। If it is ghee, the whole thing should be solid. It should not be some solid and liquid on the top. If it is solid and liquid on the top, আমি talking about sweet sauce, মিষ্টির দোকানের যে ঘি, ওগুলো দেখবে সবসময় তলায় খানিকটা ঘি, ওপরে খানিকটা তেল, ওটা ভেজাল। চেনার উপায় আছে, ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা, everywhere this type of contamination and mental corrosion, তাই তো? Any substance introduced in the environment that is adversely affect the usefulness of a resource, that is pollution. These are all definitions of pollution. First বললাম changing the background concentration. Second হচ্ছে substance introduced into the environment that adversely affect the usefulness of a resource. জলটা মানুষ খাচ্ছে, খাবার জলে যদি অন্য কিছু মিশিয়ে দেওয়া হয়, সেটা পলিউশন হয়ে যাবে, পলিউটেড ওয়াটার হয়ে যাবে। বা ইচ্ছা করে মেশাচ্ছ না, কিন্তু মিশে গেল। কি করে? বানতলা ফ্যাক্টরির নাম শুনেছ না? শোনোনি? কলকাতায় বানতলার নাম শোনোনি? কি শুনেছো তোমরা? কি চামড়া ট্যানিং হয়, ওইটা বানতলায়, ঠিক আছে? কসবা থেকে কাছাকাছি, কসবা রুগী থেকে কিছুটা ভেতরে যেতে হয়, বানতলা বলে জায়গা আছে। they are tanning this your leather materials. লেদার মেটেরিয়ালটাকে ওটা ট্যানিং করে, কিওরিং বলা হয়, কিওরিং, চামড়াটাকে কিওরিং করে। তো সেই যে এগুলো তৈরি, যে জলটা বেরিয়ে যাবে, যে ওয়েস্ট ওয়াটার যেটা, সেটা আলটিমেটলি নদীতে ফেলে দিচ্ছে। and then নদীর জলটা আমরা তো ড্রিঙ্কিং ওয়াটার হিসেবে ইউজ করছি, দ্যাট ইজ এ পলিউশন না। ওই অ্যাঙ্গেল থেকে এটা বলছি। From that point of view, the second point, any substance introduced that is adversely affecting the usefulness of the resource, খাবার যোগ্য আর থাকছে না জলটা, সেটা পলিউশন। আমি জল দেব, এটা যদিও এয়ার পলিউশন, বাই দ্য ওয়ে জেনারেলি পলিউশন বলছি, এয়ারেও হচ্ছে। ইউ আর রিলিজিং সাম স্মোক, ফিউম, গ্যাস রিলিজিং ইন দ্য এয়ার, দ্যাট ইজ অ্যাফেক্টিং অ্যাডভার্সলি আওয়ার ব্রিদিং এয়ার, that is pollution. Pollution happens because no process is 100% efficient. Leakage will be there, damage will be there, accident will be there. 100% efficiency is never found anywhere. That is the reason. Acha, whatever advanced machine, everything you use, our thermal power station will never be foolproof. No? Gas will go out into the air. That is my last point. What is last point, Shiva? Whatever efficiency, whatever new modern machineries you make, still pollution will be there. You cannot make it a zero pollution. Then what is the way? Circular economy. What is the way? Circular economy. What is that? Hey, do you know everything? Why are you talking? Not listening to me? If you don't know, you should listen. Say somewhere you are taking some raw material, producing some finished product, and out of that some byproduct is found. Don't allow any byproduct. Use this byproduct as a raw material for another production unit. হতে পারে? ভেবে দেখো তো, কেন সম্ভব নয়? আমি একটা এক্সাম্পল বলছি। You are burning coal, producing carbon dioxide. Do you think carbon dioxide is useless? You can make lot of things from carbon dioxide. Take that carbon dioxide and utilize, separate it, and then use it into lemonade. Purify first. Nitrogen dioxide gas is coming out. Take that nitrogen dioxide, make it nitric acid. Send it to laboratory. Don't send it to air. Possible. So these are processing industries. Separately ancillary industries. And ancillary মানে জানো? Ancillary industry একটা বড় ফ্যাক্টরি আছে। There is a huge factory. Parts are required, spares will be required. For the spares, small factories are produced. They are called ancillary industries. Auxiliary. Ancillary means auxiliary. একটা গাড়ি কারখানা, you need wheel. গাড়ি company cannot make wheel. So they are taking it from Dunlop company. Nowadays I think Dunlop is closed. So that tire, MRF tire, okay, they are buying it from there. Because tire they cannot make. If they go to make everything, they will be at a loss. उसका loss हो जाएगा. Those who are making tire, they are making only tire. Then it is economical. And that big industry depending on these small industries. That is a chain industry. Our Durgapur steel plant, okay, our Durgapur steel plant not making sponge iron, buying it from Angodpur. There are a lot of small factories in the Angodpur. They are making only pig iron, means raw iron, low quality raw iron. They are checking this quality control, that how much is the carbon percentage and etc. And after that they are buying it. So supplier is Angodpur, small factories, and buyer is TSP. After that they are making steel, making all of refining procedure and making the steel, but they are not making iron. Everything if you want to make, it may not be economical always. সব কিছু বানাতে গেলে না economical নাও হতে পারে, it may not be economical. So depend on others, allow others also to grow, then only you will grow. Very simple idea. If you want to make everything, it's not possible. You will be at a loss. Problem हो जाएगा, नहीं होता है. अलग-अलग काम अलग-अलग आदमी को दे दो, उसके बाद उसको assemble करो. ऐसे ही चलता है इंडस्ट्री. So I think air pollution introduction, what I told is enough. This is already known to you, so I skip. Sources and classification. What are the sources? Natural sources and artificial sources. What are natural sources? Volcanic eruption. Major source, volcanic eruption. 2/3 of our total sulfur dioxide emission is only from volcanoes. Do you know that? 2/3 of our SO2 emission is from volcanic eruption. And we are only blaming the thermal power stations. 2/3 from volcano, 1/3 from others. But just think, we cannot prevent volcanoes. We cannot stop volcanic eruption. It is beyond our capacity. Then what we can do? Whatever we are doing, we can prevent that. We can minimize that. We cannot change the volcanoes and all these things. We cannot do it. But what is at our hand? Do that. So man-made thing or anthropogenic, there we have certain control. Certain, not full control. But natural, we have no control. Still now there is no control. Pollen grain, volcanic eruption, forest fire, dust storms, spores, bacteria and other microorganisms. These are all natural pollution source. Man-made industrial units, thermal power plant, automobile exhaust, fossil fuel burning, mining, nuclear explosion, these are human. Stationary and mobile pollution source. Stationary, example, factory. चिमनी से धुआं निकल रहा है, धुआं एक ही जगह पे. फैक्ट्री कैनॉट रन. फैक्ट्री इज ए फिक्स्ड वन, एक जगह पे ही है. दैट इज स्टेशनरी. मोबाइल, गाड़ी तो भागता है ना. मोबाइल. अच्छा, पॉइंट सोर्स, एक जगह से धुआं निकल रहा है, पॉइंट सोर्स. ठीक है. लाइन सोर्स, गाड़ी जब आगे बढ़ता है, या जेट प्लेन जब आगे जाता है ना, पीछे एक लाइन बनाता है, पॉल्यूशन का लाइन, धुआं. दैट इज लाइन सोर्स. अच्छा, एक जगह अंगोदपुर, अभी हमें अंगोदपुर की बात कर रहे थे, टॉकिंग अबाउट अंगोदपुर. द होल एरिया इज हाईली पॉल्यूटेड बिकॉज ऑफ प्रोडक्शन ऑफ पिग आयरन. अंगोदपुर factories chains, so many factories producing huge pollution into the area. That is called bulk pollution. Okay, so bulk pollution, these are the things. One is line source, point source, line source and bulk source. Is the thing clear? Point source, छोटा सा एक फैक्ट्री से धुआं निकल रहा है, पॉइंट सोर्स. लाइन सोर्स, गाड़ी या जेट प्लेन. एंड बल्क सोर्स, होल एरिया, सो मेनी चिमनीज इनटू द एरिया. दैट एरिया सोर्स इज आल्सो बल्क सोर्स. बात अगेन, सी 2005 air toxic emission from on-road mobile sources. This is just some idea that which one is contributing towards pollution, how much. Which source is contributing how much into the pollution? Heavy duty gasoline vehicle. Heavy duty gasoline vehicle 14%. Heavy duty diesel vehicle. Then other gas, light duty gasoline. So this way you can, percentage is given side by side. Light duty gasoline car. So from this you get the idea, 2005 data this is. So, how much percentage of contribution of pollution is there from which source? Just for comparison. Now, if you take current data, it will be also something similar, not much different. Current data is also similar. That you can get from internet every time. But not 2025 data. Maybe you will get 2020 data. Not very recent. But similar, not much different. That I have seen. Air pollutants are dwelling temporarily or permanently into the air. Dwelling temporarily and permanently. Every pollutant has a life. Some rough idea. Acha, NO, how much life? NO2, how much life? NO कितना दिन जिंदा रहता है? Very odd question, ना? ओह अच्छा, थैंक यू. हाँ, बताओ एनो कितना दिन जिंदा रहता है? एक दिन. एनो तो कितना दिन जिंदा रहेगा एयर में? 2-3 दिन, ज़्यादा नहीं. उसका लाइफ कम है. अच्छा, मीथेन कितना दिन जिंदा रहता है? 1 हफ्ता. ये जानना चाहिए. दिस यू डोंट नो? लाइफ ऑफ केमिकल्स. अच्छा, CFC कितना दिन जिंदा रहता है? क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन सेंचुरीज हम लोग नहीं रहेंगे, वो रह जाएगा सेंचुरीज. That is the problem. Long life of chemical is not good. Long life is of chemical is not good because it will create more and pollution more and more. Achha, one plastic packet going into the soil, how much longer it can exist in the soil? कितना दिन रहेगा वो soil में? And then it will be degraded. Life कतो life. Plastic के life कतो? 45,000 years. Practically. Acha. Acha. If it is not altered any other way, it will be lasting for 45,000 years. Acha. By the way, there are some plastic eater bacteria coming that is genetically made and sometimes found naturally also. Nature also taking care. So at the bottom of the ocean, some plastic eating bacteria is found. But it is not very fast, slow. You are producing millions of tons and they are consuming maybe 1 ton. The problem is there. Producing millions of tons plastic and they are maybe taking one ton. So 1 million minus 1 is 1 million. Problem is not solved. That is one thing. Now, do you know about microplastics? माइक्रो क्या है? जानो तो बोलो. हाँ बोलो.
या फिर किसी प्लास्टिक कंटेनर में जो लोग खाना रखते हैं या फिर पानी रखते हैं तो वहाँ से बहुत माइक्रोप्लास्टिक.
एक्चुअली देखो माइक्रोप्लास्टिक मतलब प्लास्टिक का टुकड़ा होते 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 एकदम फाइनली माइक्रोस्कोपिक लेवल में चला गया जो दिखता नहीं है. बट वी आर इनहेलिंग दैट बिकॉज इट इज इनविजिबल ना. It is invisible, you are inhaling, it is getting deposited inside, we cannot understand, you don't know that so much of plastic is flowing into our blood. We are consuming plastic every day, unknowingly, going into our blood. How? By air. When you inhale, the plastic is going to the lungs to blood to everywhere, the whole body. Body का अंदर plastic फैल चुका है, सबका body. After certain time, what will happen? Very serious problem can happen. Cancer is one of the things. Achha, cancer ka sometimes we don't understand the reason of cancer. This may be one of the reasons. Smoking kills. Written in the every movie, wherever there is a smoking, so in the below that is written smoking kills. Better to write plastic kills because it is really killing thing. Very very dangerous. How do you stop this plastic killing? You have to stop plastic itself. There is no other alternative. But plastic is becoming so popular, so convenient that our habit is very difficult to change. We are taking and using plastic so enormously, stopping by day in any day means suddenly is practically impossible, isn't it? So many millions of people. When they will understand and when they will stop using and use alternative degradable materials. Have you seen degradable plastics? দেখেছো প্লাস্টিক ডিগ্রেডেবল? মানে আমি কাপড়ের থলের কথা বলছি. কিরকম প্লাস্টিক দেখতে কেমন? অনেকটা, কিন্তু একটু ডিফারেন্স আছে, সেটা খেয়াল করেছো? কি ডিফারেন্স বলতো? একটু তেলে নরম. তেলে ব্যাপারটা বোঝাতে পারলাম? ল্যাপেতে নরম মানে তুলতুলে নয়, তেলে তফাৎ আছে. যদি বাংলা না জানো শিখে না, এর কোনো হিন্দি অল্টারনেটিভ পাবে না. তুলতুলে আর তেলে ডিফারেন্সটা আমাকে বোঝাবে. Pollutant can be solid, liquid or gas. Pollutant can be solid, liquid, gas. Solid example বলো. এবার তোমরা বলো. Pollutant solid floating in the air বলো. Okay, dust particle. But don't say dust particle, say SP. Scientific term বলো. মানে ক্যাজুয়ালি বলুন. ডাস্টটা বড় ক্যাজুয়াল না. It is supposed to be SPM, suspended particulate matter. That is the মানে পোশাকই না মানে ফাইন। সো লিকুইড, হ্যাঁ বলে না হবে। আর লিকুইড এয়ার ভেপার, ভেপার এয়ার ভেপার বলে, ওয়াটার ভেপার হয়, এয়ার ভেপার হয়, ওয়াটার ভেপার, ওটাই বলতে চাইছি। আচ্ছা ওয়াটার ভেপার পলিউশন বলে মনে হয় তাহলে তো বৃষ্টি হলে মরে যেতে, বলছে ওয়াটার ভেপার পলিউশন। কি মুশকিল, জল না খেলে বাঁচবে? ওয়াটার ভেপার পলিউশন। একটা লিকুইডের নাম বলো যেটা তুমি অন্য অ্যাঙ্গেল থেকে বলেছো, আমি বুঝতে পারছি তুমি অন্য অ্যাঙ্গেল থেকে বলেছো, তুমি বলতে চাইছো যে লিকুইড ফ্লোটিং ইনটু গ্যাস। আমি সেটা চাইনি, পলিউশন হতে হবে। আমরা এখন পলিউশন ডিসকাস করছি। তো একটা লিকুইড বলো যেটা পলিউটেন্ট, যেটা এয়ারে ফ্লোট করছে, লিকুইড ফ্লোটিং ইন অ্যাজ এ পলিউটেন্ট ইন দ্য এয়ার। ওয়েস্ট ওয়াটার আকাশে ওড়ে নেই, সে তো তলায় নালি দিয়ে বয়ে যায়, আকাশে কি উড়ে উঠবে? একটু ভেবে কথা বলো। অ্যাসিড রেন, ঠিক আছে হতে পারে, ভাই ঠিক আছে। আচ্ছা আর গ্যাস, কার্বন মনোক্সাইড, নাইট্রোজেন ডাইঅক্সাইড, সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড সবগুলোই তো পলিউটেন্ট। It may originate from natural or anthropogenic source, both. Anthropogenic হতে পারে মানে হিউম্যান, ন্যাচারাল। It is estimated that anthropogenic sources have changed the composition of global air by less than 0.01%. তার মানে আমরা বেশি কিছু করিনি, our pollution is limited, right? Plastic is very dangerous though. Even a small change can have a significant adverse effect on the climate. Little bit of change, pollution level, can give a very significant change. Primary, secondary, I have discussed already, told you at the beginning. Earlier also I told. These are the pollutants. The list I told you already today itself. Acha. But these are not criteria pollutants. These are major primary pollutants. It is written. That's why the list may be a bit different. Just like volatile organic compounds. These volatile organic compounds can be a liquid droplet that is floating there. I was going to tell that. You told acid and fine, I accept it. But these volatile organic compounds also very prominent source of liquid droplet floating in the air. Mane ki volatile organic compound? Ether, alcohol, sabhi to volatile organic. Ketone, acid, these are all volatile organic compounds. But here we are talking about methyl chloride, methylene chloride, chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, this type of compound. These are all volatile. We are using as a solvent in a large quantity. We are largely using them as a solvent. Methyl chloride, methylene chloride, chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, TCE, trichloroethylene. This type of compounds we are using. Chlorinated hydrocarbon in general. Chlorinated hydrocarbon. We are using in general as a solvent which is going into the air. Acha, can you tell me why we are using this solvent? এই যে volatile organic compound solvent বলছি, methylene chloride, methyl chloride, chloroform, carbon tetrachloride বললাম না, why are we using them? Spray painting, thinner of the spray painting, thinner বলে একটা লিকুইড না, that thinner. So these things are volatile matter and they are creating air pollution, they are creating water pollution, they are creating land pollution. So modernization and modern civilization is a root cause of all man-made pollutions. Go back to forest, pollution will be stopped. Primary pollutant, what they are, where they come from. These are the source and these are the percentage of different pollutants. Carbon monoxide 49.1%. Out of these all pollutants, nitrogen oxide 14.8%, volatile organics 13.6%. Volatile organics are what I told you already. These volatile organics. Achha, TCE I told, trichloroethylene. What is that? That is a solvent used to clean PCBs, printed circuit board, motherboard cleaning is done by TCE, trichloroethylene. Trichloroethylene, TCE. So this side, source, pollution source. Transportation, 46%. Stationary source means factories. Fuel combustion, whenever fuel combustion. Industrial processes. And others. Created by human. Combustion, chemical, nuclear, roasting is roasting, calcination and roasting. This metallurgical process industry. Mining and natural, volcanoes, breaking seas, pollen, terpenes, pollens, fire. These are natural sources. And these are accentuated by humans. Means we are enhancing this problem more. Secondary air pollutants are created by some sort of reaction in the air itself. Chemicals are reacting themselves, producing other chemical, that is secondary. Our vehicle, factory, natural source, human source, human source. Car is human source. This factory, households, human source, and this is volcanoes, the natural source. Atmospheric sulfuric acid, example of secondary pollutant. How this is produced? From sulfur dioxide. How sulfur dioxide is produced? By burning of coal. Now this sulfur dioxide in contact of water and ozone producing sulfuric acid. That is happening in the air itself. That is secondary air pollutant. Because we are not producing sulfuric acid and sending it to air. Sulfuric acid we may produce, but that will be our laboratory. We are not sending it to air. But how it is made in the air? By secondary reactions. That's why it is called secondary air pollutant. Air pollution in urban and industrial areas is often called smoke. Photochemical smoke. What is that? I was telling a few minutes back that methane has a life of 7 days. What does it mean? It means that within that 7 days, methane will be converted to methyl alcohol, then methyl alcohol to formaldehyde, then to formic acid, and then carbonic acid. The complete oxidation process takes 7 days. Could you understand or not? Step by step, oxidation is taking place. First, methanol. Methane to methanol. That is the toughest job. First step is happening by ozone only. Methyl alcohol is produced. Then methyl alcohol to formaldehyde, aerial oxidation. Formaldehyde to formic acid. Formic acid to carbon dioxide. Step by step oxidation. So that way by 7 days, some methane produced is completely converted to carbon dioxide. So that's why I told life is 7 days. What is the meaning of life of a chemical? It is converted to something else. Life is not living. Life is how much time it will exist. After that it will be converted to something else. Now what is photochemical smoke? Mixture of formaldehyde, formic acid, this type of organic acids, alcohols, and ketones, these organic compounds floating in the air together, producing smoke. Smoke plus fog. So, and it is formed by photochemical reaction, oxidation. That's why it's called photochemical smoke. The major component of photochemical smoke is ozone. Photochemical smoke, major component is ozone. Carbon monoxide is quite dangerous. It is toxic for our blood. Why? Because hemoglobin gets converted to carboxyhemoglobin, which cannot carry the oxygen to our tissue. From the lungs to tissue, it is supposed to carry oxygen, but if it is converted to hemoglobin, is converted to oxyhemoglobin, carboxyhemoglobin, it cannot carry that oxygen. We will be dead, not tissue. So carbon monoxide, these are the different percentage from different portion. Transportation 75%, residential wood burning 10%, other Just have a look. Pie chart. Pie chart thing makes things very clear, isn't it? So that's why I prefer pie chart. Bar chart is also good, but pie chart I prefer. Okay, just for your rough idea, overall idea. Which one is contributing towards carbon dioxide emission? How much coming from which sector? Effect. Reduce oxygen carrying capacity of blood. Next is carbon dioxide. After carbon dioxide, next one is carbon dioxide. It is a produced due to fossil fuel combustion, and it is actually carbon dioxide is greenhouse gas. That is the major reason. The main factor is greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is contributing towards greenhouse effect. Oxides of nitrogen is coming from vehicle, and it is the effect again. It is reducing the blood carrying capacity, oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. NOx sources, different sources of NOx. Oxides of sulfur, it is coming from fossil fuel burning, coal burning particularly. Sulfur content of coal is 1 to 5%. Sulfur content of coal, it may be up to 5%. So if you burn 1 ton of coal, so 5% of that you are actually producing, converting to sulfur dioxide. So that way sulfur dioxide is produced, and it is giving mainly respiratory trouble. And sulfur dioxide source contribution from different sources. You can see at your leisure time. These are interesting things. Hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbon is mainly produced due to two things. One is cow dung. Secondly, the fermentation of the biomass. Okay, fermentation of biomass by bacteria, bacterial fermentation. This is one. Another one is cow dung. From these two sources, lot of hydrocarbons are there and is going into the air, producing photochemical smoke at the end by aerial oxidation steps. Particulate matter, one pollutant. These two are very crucial, PM10 and PM2.5. That is the diameter. Diameter of particle, if it is 2.5 micrometer, that is called PM2.5. If particle diameter is 10 micron, that is called PM10. So these two are very crucial size, 2.5 and 10. So whenever you open your AQI, air quality index, they are always showing the values of PM2.5 and PM10 for the day. These are giving premature death, aggregated asthma, acute respiratory symptom, chronic bronchitis, decreased lung function and all. Lungs is mainly getting affected due to air pollution. Lungs. Because directly the air we breathe going to the lungs. It is increasing in mortality. It is affecting the human health and all. Okay, that's all.